Let us learn the lesson A Soldier's Son, written by Shobha Ghosh. The plane was changing direction in the sky. It was losing its balance and was veering and shuddering in the sky and about to strike towards the earth. The plane was shot down by enemy fire and lost its height rapidly, and the pilot fell out of the plane before it crashed in a matter of minutes. A parachute, a white structured mushroom, and opened like a flower in the sky, and a man floated gently down with the wind to the ground and saved himself. Makbul, a brave boy of 12 years old, watching the plane for some time from the clump of trees, he saw a plane shot by enemy fire, and the pilot came down from the parachute. The boy came out from the darkness of the trees and reached the wounded pilot. The boy said to the pilot, "Come with me, sir. There is a there is an army camp nearby. You will be safe there." The pilot staggered, tried to take steps, but collapsed to the ground because his legs were fractured. Pilot asked the boy, "Can you do something for me?" The boy agreed upon to do anything for him. Pilot's hands were bleeding. He fumbled inside his pocket and took out a packet of papers and told the boy to hand over the papers to the commanding officer of the army unit and tell him this must reach the Air Force Station Ambala by night. And the pilot told the boy to run for his life and avoid the enemies. But the boy was worried about the pilot, asked him, "What about you, sir?" "The enemy will catch you. Don't worry about me. I can escape. I distract them. You run and hand over the packet." The boy, with a smart salute, said, "Yes, sir." The pilot smiled. Even though he had pain of his injuries, he began to crawl away from the boy in the opposite direction. The boy moved very quickly across the open space from which he had emerged. The enemy saw the boy and tried to chase and shoot at him. The cartridges fell everywhere around him. The boy ran fast and reached the sentry post of the army unit. He said to the sentry to take him to the commanding Sahib. "There is something urgent to deliver him." The sentry said, "No one is allowed to go to his room unless it is very important." The boy said, "I have is very important. It is from the pilot whose plane was shot down and crashed just now." Sentry said, "Rescue team has already gone to look for him. The enemy was after him. He was badly injured, couldn't walk. He gave me a packet. I must guide the commanding officer and show him where the enemy lines are." The sentry spoke into the field telephone, and a soldier came to the sentry post and took the boy to the commanding Sahib. The boy saluted the commanding officer. Who are you? Why did you want to see me? The commanding officer asked. The boy said, My name is Makbul, but my father was a soldier and he was awarded a medal for bravery. Oh, yes, he died fighting for the nation. My mother and I live here nearby. I saw a pilot falling to the ground. I ran towards him to save him. The enemy was just a distance away. I ran to bring him back by a shortcut. When I reached him, I found that he could not walk. He was bleeding very badly. He told me not to worry about him, but to give this packet to you and told me to tell you that it must reach Ambala tonight. It's very important. Son, weren't you afraid of the enemy? My father told me never to afraid of the enemy. They can't do anything if our number is not written on the bullet. Good, you are indeed a brave son of brave soldier. Has the enemy been able to catch the pilot? I don't know, sir. I couldn't wait to see. I had to carry out my orders first. I know where the enemy lines are. I can guide you to it by a shortcut. We must go at once. If you take jeeps, you will be able to surround them and catch them. Instruction noted, sir. Action will be taken. Few minutes later, the group of enemy soldiers found themselves surrounded by jeeps. There was no escape to the enemies. One of them tried to run but realized that it was no use. He put down his gun and surrendered. The pilot was bleeding. He was dragged along and failed to rise and walk. He was muttering something incoherently. Boy, packet. Suddenly he was taken to the military hospital. Makbul, thank you, my brave son. Now you must be taken home. Your mother will be worried about you. The boy says, I'm Makbul but son of India. This is my land and these are my brothers. It is here that I was born and nurtured. My father's blood is mixed with the soil of their land or this land, and my mother's tears water the earth on which a crop grow. My loyalty rests here. The boy who had been standing collapsed at once. The enemy fire had hit his leg and the blood was dropping out. The commanding officer gathered the fallen figure in his arms and carried the boy to the ambulance. The boy's face unnaturally twisted with pain. Major Dogra moved swiftly to him and gently eased his leg into a more comfortable position. The commanding officer was worried and his eyes were filled with tears. Makbul smiled through his dirt streaked face and said, A soldier never weeps, sir. Another voice from somewhere far away, lost in the distant years, seemed to say, A soldier never runs from the enemy. Father, you told me so. He must face the bullets even when they tear his chest to shreds. Yes, my son, a soldier must not weep, but a father's heart weeps. and bleeds with the blood of a son. I received the Paramveer Chakra for my son in the year 1971 war. You must have been very brave. You too are very brave. Sir, don't worry, it will be all right. I am a soldier's son.